The Asset is a fun episode, probably my favourite of the series so far, mainly because it showcases a lot of the elements of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I adore, from fun character moments to emotional gut punches. It also has a decent plot that is enhanced through progression in Skye's character, and lays groundwork for several storylines that aren't all revisited and paid off until years later. That's the kind of stuff I love, and a sign of the intelligent writing we're so used to nowadays. This is season 1, however, where great and intelligent writing doesn't have to equal pain and suffering at every turn for the characters we love. Let's not get ahead of ourselves though, and focus on how much fun I had revisiting this episode. We open with the truck driving along happily, the driver inside nodding at the drivers of 2 black vans escorting him. Suddenly the vans are mysteriously sent flying into the air and the driver calls in for help, revealing to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
S.H.I.E.L.D. Region CT, this is Agent Mac.
Interesting name. The truck is also lifted up and sent crashing back down to the ground. Armed soldiers emerge from nearby and break into the truck, revealing they were after a man being transported inside. That's 3 for 3 now on opening scenes that got me really interested in what was going on. Ward is trying to train a reluctant Skye and tells her every agent has a defining moment when they choose to commit to the cause or not. Coulson briefs the team on the incident at the start of the episode, revealing the kidnapped man is Franklin Hall, a S.H.I.E.L.D. asset and former teacher of Fitzsimmons. They investigate the crash site where Agent Mac believes an inside man must have leaked Hall's location and transfer route. Simmons finds trace elements of
some thing,
ultimately being a small metallic looking device. The team use tyre tracks to narrow down the suspects. Coulson and Ward question one of these subjects in Colorado, who reveals he was paid in gold bars for his role in the kidnapping. The gold is traced back to a company called Quinn Worldwide, run by super douche Ian Quinn. Hall is brought to Quinn's home in Malta. He organised Hall's kidnapping as the two are old acquaintances. Quinn presents Hall with a similar object to the one Simmons found, and reveals he's finally found what Hall has always wanted.
Gravitonium.
The most comic booky name for anything ever. A rare element that can distort gravity within itself. The team works out how Quinn and Hall are linked from studying together in their youth. Meanwhile, Quinn shows Hall the full-size version of the generator used in the kidnapping, wanting Hall to work on it for him and complete his life's work. He's also shadily sipping alcohol during this entire scene in case you hadn't figured out he's an arsehole yet. The team decide to send someone on the inside to a shareholders meeting Quinn is hosting at his home. While Fitz offers a perfectly decent plan,
if we had a monkey, we could get in.
Oh, Fitz!
If we had a small monkey, he could slip through the sensors and disable the fence's power source with his adorable little hands.
Skye volunteers as she stands the best chance of not being recognised as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Fitzsimmons loved the guy and he needs help. They could be torturing him.
Well, that's extremely wholesome. Not everyone is on board with the plan, but Skye has already managed to hack her way into getting an invitation. Ward warns Coulson that Skye can't be trusted, ironic, because she's holding back from fully committing to training. He tries to teach Skye some self-defence, but she makes a joke out of it and frustrates him. When pressed, Ward opens up some more about what his defining moment was.
I had a brother who beat the crap out of me. Me and my little brother.
I'm sure that little tidbit won't ever be revisited. Skye apologises and he offers more advice.
Getting the gun is one thing. Pulling the trigger, that is another.
Well, you'd know, pal. The whole plan is laid out while Fitzsimmons equips Skye with plenty of gadgets.
Desert rose, to match your complexion.
That's a gem of a line I'd completely forgotten about. May questions Coulson's plan to send in a 2-man extraction team, including himself.
You forget. I saw plenty of action with the Avengers.
And you died.
Skye arrives at the gathering and starts mingling, May in her ear. She makes conversation with Quinn, who reveals he wants to hire her. Quinn gives a speech about his plans for the gravitonium generator and the benefits it could provide worldwide as Hall works on it. Coulson and Ward arrive near the complex via a beach. Skye takes a look around while conversing with May and Fitzsimmons. Fitz, with his bowl of popcorn, is a mood, but she's caught out by Quinn. She reveals to him that S.H.I.E.L.D. is listening in on her, seemingly betraying the team. Fitz is...
She probably just used her, boobs.
Well, Fitz, while they lose Skye's signal. Skye spills the beans to Quinn about why she's really there. While I didn't buy for a second that Skye was actually betraying them despite how the previous episode ended, it would still be plausible this early in the season, so it makes sense that they would use this plotline to add tension. Quinn lists off many reasons why S.H.I.E.L.D. would be interested in Skye.
No family. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit a nerve.
I'm sure that little tidbit won't ever be revisited. Coulson and Ward take out a patrol of guards while Quinn sweet-talks Skye, who makes her true loyalties clear and activates the device granting Fitz access to reboot the complex's systems and give Coulson and Ward a way in.
Fitz!
Saying his name repeatedly does not increase productivity.
Okay, go.
Oh, maybe it does.
The shot of the complex here makes me really appreciate the location work put into this episode. Quinn is a tiny bit angry he got played and threatens Skye. Coulson manages to find Hall, who reveals he leaked his own location, wanting to be kidnapped so he could destroy the generator and Quinn along with it, knowing how dangerous Quinn would be with the gravitonium. Things with the generator accelerate and we get some really cool camera work as Coulson recreates You're All the World to Me from Royal Wedding. Skye uses Ward's story about his brothers to show Quinn that she can put her faith in S.H.I.E.L.D., and uses what he taught her to take Quinn's gun before she makes her escape.
Kid's got balls.
That's potentially the best line in television history. Thank God Quinn didn't actually shoot Skye though, that'd have been awkward. Oh. As the complex shakes, Quinn realises what's happening and makes a swift exit.
Get the chopper.
Coulson tries to make Hall see sense, but Hall believes S.H.I.E.L.D. is just as bad as Quinn when it comes to exploiting powerful objects.
Your search for an unlimited power source brought an alien invasion.
Fair point.
Ward saves Skye from a bunch of brutes and we see her latch onto him after her close call, showing a vulnerability to him she hasn't yet shown the rest of the team, much like the vulnerability he's only showed to her. God damn it, I used to really ship these two. Fitzsimmons tells Coulson he needs to find a catalyst to stabilise the generator, and when forced to make a tough call, he shoots the glass below and sends Hall falling into the gravitonium, which quickly absorbs him and stabilises the generator. Coulson orders the gravitonium be stored securely and secretly while May comes to him, asking to be put back on field duty, tired of being helpless during numerous close calls.
You committed to the cause? Or just watching my back?
Same thing.
Adorable. A newly committed Skye takes her training seriously and opens up to Ward about how she never had a stable home life, living in foster care and only staying with one family for a month before they decided she wasn't the right fit.
I called her mom once. Tried it out. Guess it wasn't a good fit.
It only took them 3 episodes to get me feeling all sad and emotional. Chloe Bennett is great in this scene. The emotional beats really worked for me here. Ward assures Skye that
We won't turn our back.
emphasis on we, not I, Ward, before the pair again joke about the truth serum used on Ward in the pilot. I like that we don't get a definitive answer as to whether the truth serum was real or not. In the tag scene, the gravitonium is sealed away but unseen by anyone, a hand reaches out of it. This is a cool little tease clearly hinting at what's to come, given how Franklin Hall becomes the villain Graviton in the comics and... Oh. The Asset is an episode I'd recommend people check out when they write off early S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1. I don't think the first chunk of episodes deserves the bad reputation people give them. It sets up some stories that aren't fully resolved until 4 whole seasons later, and gives us a first glimpse of Skye's past without a family that becomes a staple of her character in the first few seasons. There are emotional beats that really resonated with me, but also some great laughs and cool action sequences. Quinn is a serviceable, hateable foe, but there's still plenty of time to flesh him out more. The location work is top notch, there are some great moments of direction, and the visual effects are pretty impressive. The cast feel more and more comfortable with their characters and each other, and while Skye's story is awesome here, it does mean that yet again characters like May and Fitzsimmons are left with little to do but offer exposition. Even Coulson doesn't have a great deal to work with here, except another failed attempt to talk someone round which we already had in the previous episode. Still, I had a lot of fun with this episode, and it's actually quite an important one in the grand scheme of things. The plot and the character development worked hand in hand as opposed to it feeling quite separate like in 084, and Skye's evolution is already starting to show just 3 episodes in, which I think is a pretty impressive feat. I shouldn't be surprised though. After all,
Kid's got balls.